film is The Blackening, which was released June 16th, directed by Tim Story and starring Grace Byers, Jermaine Fowler, and Melvin Gregg. And I just really wanted to end my very, very long October, very, very long October on a silly note. And this was incredibly silly. It's a satire of horror films in the same vein as Scary Movie. But so as you can see from the poster, the theme driving this one is if you have an all black cast in a horror movie, who's gonna die first? And they go to a cabin. It's a group of friends who are reuniting 10 years after college. And they go to a cabin in the woods, and there is a game there, and they have to answer the questions in the game. Like there's camera set up, somebody's watching them. They have to answer the questions in the game correctly, or they're going to be killed off. And one of the very first questions of the game is name a black character that survived a horror movie. Right? It's hard. Some of the questions weren't quite that difficult, but that one does kind of stump you, especially if even if you are a horror fan and like me, you really enjoy horror trivia. Still is a stumping one. I laughed out loud at parts of this. I really did. It was silly. It was funny. There are a few jump scares, but it's not really a scary movie. Just like Scary Movie, it's not a scary movie, especially if you're someone who is accustomed to horror films. It's not going to scare you, but it really is for people who are accustomed to horror films because a lot of the jokes are inside jokes about horror movies, and a lot of the jokes are about being black in the United States. It's very, very funny. So I do recommend The Blackening just for a silly time. Today, instead of having a sidebar, I'm just going to thank everyone who came along for the ride. This has been a fun October. We survived it. And I will see you next year.